I'm going to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to ask you to remain standing. Take the honor of the 10 Buffalonians that lost their lives this past weekend in a senseless hate crime. Thank you.
We will have the safety plan.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Thank you for taking the time for me to provide a brief district safety update. Last year's safety plans were approved and submitted to New York State. No considerable changes were made to this year's safety plan other than updated team member names and contact info. The district continually seeks opportunities to train and educate its safety teams through available webinars, workshops, and other training opportunities. 8 evacuation drills and 4 lockdown drills are required per school year. There are only 2 more fire drills left to complete this school year. Safety inspections for this year are complete and new certificates of occupancy have been issued for each building. There are no other updates at this time. Any questions? It's all good?
Nope, we're good. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have a request to withdraw specific items from the consent agenda? All right. That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, consensus items be approved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion passed.
Go all the way down. And now public, that's where we are, public comments. This is the approximate position and time that the board has designated to receive statements from individuals. Can you make it scroll up a little bit for me? Thank you. From individuals and groups. The board will review all statements, then respond appropriately at a future meeting. All persons in attendance are required to sign the attendance sheet and to designate their representation status. For example, parent, teacher, bus driver, chamber of commerce, etc. There is a 2-minute time limit. Okay. On to new business. That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the resignation of special education teacher Haley Herc be accepted effective June 25th, 2022. The board and administration wish to thank Ms. Herc for her 2 years of service to the district.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the resignation for the purpose of retirement of treasurer Mary Labasco be adjusted to an effective date of July 1st, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the resignation for the purpose of retirement of teacher aide Jamie O'Brien be accepted effective June 30th, 2022. The board and administration wish to thank Mrs. O'Brien for her 19 years of service to the district.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the resignation of Amanda Russo from the summer enrichment program be accepted effective May 2nd, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, Natalia Gage be appointed on probation as district treasurer effective July 1st, 2022, and ending December 31st, 2022. Salary is $60,000.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd like to inform the board that Natalia Gage is currently our assistant treasurer, so this is an advancement for her. And thank you for your support in this matter.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, after successfully completing her probationary period, Carolyn Stump be granted tenure as an elementary teacher effective August 31st, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried. Congratulations.
Congratulations. That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, after successfully completing her probationary period, Andrea Demont be granted tenure as an elementary teacher effective August 31st, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
Did you hear? But congratulations. Yeah. All right. That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, after successfully completing her probationary period, Katie Musso be granted tenure as an elementary teacher effective August 31st, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried. Congratulations.
Congratulations. That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, after successfully completing his probationary period, Brian Smith be granted tenure as a technology teacher effective August 31st, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried. Congratulations.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, Ashley Mason be appointed as a summer enrichment substitute teacher effective July 5th, 2022, and ending July 28th, 2022. Salary is $35.73 per hour.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, Catherine Kaler be appointed as the registered nurse for athletic events for a 1-to-1 student.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, after successfully completing her probationary period, Barbara Baker be permanently appointed as a custodian effective June 9th, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, after successfully completing his probationary period, Daniel Teal be permanently appointed as a bus driver effective June 8th, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, after successfully completing her probationary period, Nancy Elvers be permanently appointed as a teacher aide effective June 12th, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, after successfully completing her probationary period, Melinda Massa be permanently appointed as a teacher aide effective June 6th, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, after successfully completing her probationary period, Catherine Kaler be permanently appointed as a registered professional nurse effective May 28th, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, David Camillo be appointed on probation as a bus driver effective May 18th, 2022, and ending January 17th, 2023. Salary is based upon CSEA contract level 9, step 1.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the following people be appointed as summer bus personnel: E. Peter Belgian, bus driver and bus attendant; Janet Bonsar, bus driver; David Camillo, bus driver; Linda Christ, bus driver; Jeffrey Cott, bus driver; Bonnie Gable, bus driver; Danielle Gable, bus driver, 19A trainer and bus attendant; Kathleen Janko, bus driver; James Henry, bus driver; Cynthia Casper, bus driver, 19A trainer and bus attendant; Corinne Kenefick, bus driver and bus attendant; Allison McKenzie, bus driver; Heidi Mahoney, bus driver; Ellen Polinsky, bus driver and attendant; Donnie Rogers, bus driver; Elizabeth Rogers, bus driver and attendant; Bradley Susanna, bus driver; Richard Telak, bus driver; Vincent Vaco, bus driver; Paul Winter, bus and 19A trainer; Deborah Barton, bus attendant; Emily Bauer, bus attendant; Rebecca Lape, bus attendant; Brianna McCabe, bus attendant; Lori Mohan, bus attendant; Francis Phillips, bus attendant; Judy Rizone, bus attendant; Beverly Susanna, bus attendant; Diane Strong, bus attendant; Mary Tereshevitz, bus attendant; Diane Zimmer, bus attendant.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the following people be appointed to extended school year non-teaching positions: Lori Mohan, teacher aide; Alexandra Holscher, teacher aide; Rebecca Lape, teacher aide; Elaine Funk, teacher aide; Cheryl Dunmeyer, teacher aide; Susan Walzak, teacher aide; Amanda Chimera, teacher aide; Judy Rizone, teacher aide; Melinda Mossop, teacher aide; Nancy Elvers, teacher aide; Darlene Smith, registered nurse; Jennifer Tomasulo, physical therapist.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the following people be appointed as extended school year substitute teacher aides: Jennifer Keller, Kathy Franklin, Alicia Plummer, Joseph Kushner, Jacqueline Campfield, Kristen Chandra, Natalia Eggleston.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the following people be appointed as extended school year teachers: Jamie Peterson, speech language; Dana Fazzolari, speech language; Grace Sipos, physical education; Michelle Fakitas, teacher; Thomas Wall, teacher; Shannon Locking, teacher; Sarah Fiorella, teacher.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the following people be appointed as extended school year substitute teachers: Nancy Eggleston, Tina Wrigley.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
Okay. Oh. No, I did that one. Summer, was this substitute? Is that different? That
We gotta
upon-
do T's, don't we?
I'm sorry. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought I just read that. That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the following be appointed as summer enrichment substitute teachers and substitute teacher aides: Tina Wrigley, Shannon, Hennigan, Fitzgerald.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried. Could we go back to letter F real quick? And revisit that one more time?
For Darlene Smith or Brian Smith?
Let's revisit that one, Ellen.
I'm sorry, okay, that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, after successfully completing his probationary period, Brian Smith be granted tenure as a technology teacher effective August 31st, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? I don't know, should we have some discussion about this? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried. Congratulations.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the results of the 2022 budget and Board of Election vote be accepted as follows. Proposition 1, annual budget. What are we doing here? Oh, okay, passed. Proposition 2, use of capital reserve funds for the acquisition of school buses and construction and maintenance equipment, passed. Proposition number 2, buses, construction and maintenance equipment, passed. Proposition number 3, use of technology reserve funds for the acquisition of technology equipment, passed. Board members elected or reelected would be Jennifer Della Penta, right? Don Sutphin and Marlene Grunder.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the 2022 summer school program staff rates are as follows. All bus drivers and attendants in their hired position as of the June 30th payroll will receive their 2022-23 school year rate in their respective positions. Regular bus drivers who are temporarily employed as bus attendants will receive $16.80 per hour the first year and will progress on the bus attendant pay scale for subsequent years. Regular teacher aides who are temporarily employed as bus attendants will receive $16.80 per hour the first year and will progress on the bus attendant pay scale for subsequent years. Regular monitors who are temporarily employed as bus attendants will receive $16.80 per hour the first year and will progress on the bus attendant pay scale for the subsequent years. All substitute bus drivers and bus attendants will be paid at the substitute rate of $18 per hour for bus drivers and $14 per hour for bus attendants. Note, CSEA members who serve out of title are paid at the contractual rate of the summer assigned title. Employees will be credited for the past summers they have worked. Any new hires who are appointed would be paid the summer rate of $14.70 or $18.70 per hour.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the following items be declared excess and disposed of as the district deems appropriate. Metal lathe asset with the following number and the right rotary cutter asset number with the following number.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the request to lease school buses and drivers for the Edentown Recreation Department Summer 2022 field trips be approved. Dates and times to be determined.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the 2021-2022 calendar be amended to show that the June 20th, 2022 holiday will also include all managerial, confidential, supervisory staff and administrative staff.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
That upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the 2021-2022 school calendar be amended to reflect that from June 15th through June 23rd, 2022, in the middle and high school, students in grades 7 through 12 will only report to school if they are scheduled to take exams.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carried.
Business report.
I really think everyone's tired of hearing from the business office, but what I wanted to say was thank you to everyone who participated in the budget vote. It's nice to see so many folks come out and take part of the electing their voice. Thank you.
Thank you. And superintendent's report.
Thank you. This evening, we have much to celebrate. We certainly should celebrate the successful passing of the 22-23 budget and all propositions. I think it's also time to recognize and celebrate the fact that our district had 911 votes cast last evening. That's about a 24% increase in voter participation from last school year. I thank all the school district residents for casting their votes last evening and participating in this really important process. I also want to congratulate the re-elected and the newly elected Board of Education members. It is rare in this day and age where we have 5 people vying for 3 seats, and I appreciate that every one of them put themselves out there and put forth their best effort to earn a seat on this board. Mr. Silver, the time to celebrate your years of service will come at some point down the road, because as I told you last night, you're not done yet. Okay. Moving on. This evening, we are also conducting our 2nd annual tenure celebration. In a few moments, building principals will present those ETA members who have earned tenure this school year, some of whom were recommended this evening. I would be remiss if I did not thank Mrs. Tomasulo and Mr. Schwantz for their assistance in developing this evening's program. I appreciate both of your efforts in this endeavor. To those soon to be recognized and honored, thank you for your professionalism, your service to our schools, students, and community, and thank you for choosing to spend your careers as Eden educators. I hope you noticed that I used the phrase earn tenure because earn it you did. In my estimation, tenure is a celebration of personal and professional growth, and is also somewhat of a new beginning. Growth as an educator never stops because, thankfully, the children never stop coming to us. I challenge each of you to continue to learn and grow so that Eden students can have the best possible educational experience. To our honorees and their families, a heartfelt congratulations for this earned honor. Now, to start off our recognition, Mrs. Carter, will you please present your candidate? If the candidate is here, you're going to be mad at me, but I'm going to ask you to step forward. We do have a couple of folks that couldn't be with us this evening, but we're going to recognize them just the same. And you're certainly going to use the microphone. Thank you.
I have here with me Danae Lamarca. She is currently a 1st grade teacher in GLP. Danae came to GLP and the Eden School District in 2017. Prior to that, she was a dedicated and hardworking teacher in the Buffalo Public School System. I can tell you she was thrilled to come to Eden. She is certified in both elementary education and special education. And this training, along with her magnificent personality, allows her to truly support each and every student in her classroom in the most amazing way possible. To name a few incredible strengths of Danae Lamarca, she has an incredible ability to develop personal relationships with her students and their families, which creates a true community in her classroom. She is a wonderful collaborative team player. She teaches every student from the level they come from and helps them make remarkable growth each year. Her enthusiasm, empathy, kindness, and warmth are outstanding. She never says no and is always positive, which every principal is so very thankful for. Her kindness is modeled to all every day. She has always supported and helped organize the GLP Math Game Night, Family Reading Night, and the GLP Field Day. And I often wonder how she does this. Because if you do not know, since she's come to GLP, she has 2 little twin girls and a baby little boy. And it does not ever affect the job she does on a daily basis. In a world where we are often all replaceable, I would say Danae Lamarca would be almost impossible to replace. I am certain of this. She is certainly one of a kind, and I am so very thankful she has joined the GLP and recognize her as a true asset to the district. And I congratulate her on her tenure.
Hello. Andrea Demont could not be here this evening, but I still would like to take a moment to recognize her and her work that she's done here. She's been teaching grade 5 at Eden Elementary School for 4 years. During that time, she has been the general education teacher in the grade 5 co-teach classroom, and that is no easy feat. She is triple certified in elementary education, literacy, and students with disabilities in birth through grade 6. And all of that background and information that she brings into our classroom, she's done an amazing job. Andrea's strength is in personalized learning for each student through the use of data, small group instruction, and instructional strategies that match the needs of each and every student in her room. She creates a wonderful classroom community for every student through the use of class meetings and growth mindset practices. Andrea is part of our field day committee, STEAM night planning committee, and Andrea also volunteers at various evening activities, including concerts and our readathon. We're very lucky to have Andrea on our team at Eden Elementary School. And I will make sure she gets the certificate. Next up, we have Carolyn Stone. Carolyn, our own Eden graduate. Carolyn Stubb came to Eden with 7 years of teaching experience. She taught grade 5 in the city of Buffalo. She came very highly recommended. We're very lucky to have her. She's been teaching grade 4 for 3 years. Carolyn does an outstanding job integrating technology across the curriculum. It's embedded into every lesson, every unit that she teaches, and it really hooks the children in. She creates an engaging and dynamic classroom where all students learn and grow. Her passion for teaching creates a passion for learning in her students. There is a vibe among vibes. When you walk in her classroom, you can feel that excitement and pride. Her students have a great pride in their learning. During her time at Eden Elementary School, Carolyn has been part of numerous committees. STEAM Night Planning Committee, our Report Card Committee, which is a huge undertaking, our Math Pilot Review Committee, which again was a huge undertaking, and she made outstanding contributions to that decision. She writes, takes time and writes grants, writes private grants, so students in her classroom have engaging STEAM and engineering modules to complete that are like enrichment activities above and beyond. She's a plant mom. She has plants all over her classroom that create like a nice soothing environment in her room. And she volunteers at many evening activities, reading night, math night, the readathon, concerts. Carolyn is an outstanding member of our Eden Elementary School, and we are so lucky to have her.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Okay, good evening. Wait for Katie and Brian to get up here. Tonight, I have the pleasure of presenting Katie Musso and Brian Smith. I'm going to start with Katie Musso. Katie started in Eden in February of 2011, making this Katie's 11th year with us. Katie started as a kindergarten self-contained special education teacher at the GLP. During her time at the GLP, Katie helped to create the autism program that was modeled from the Children's League in Springville. This program was designed to keep Eden students in district, but was such a success that it actually pulled kids from other districts to Eden. Katie also organized autism walks and to raise awareness and funds. These funds were used for sensory rooms and technology for special education students to the tune of approximately $35,000. Katie followed her students from the GLP to the elementary school and then to the newly created middle school, where she transitioned from a special education teacher to a general education teacher, which is why we're here tonight. Katie's transitioned to general education to meet the needs of our middle school program and pushed her to a more general education setting while still doing some special ed work. Katie currently serves as our reading teacher, AIS, ELA, and resource room. Katie sits on the middle school shared decision-making team and volunteers at various extracurricular events. Thanks to Katie's dual certifications, it has allowed us to meet many of the sixth grade student needs. Katie is an asset to the middle school, and we are happy to have her as a member of our faculty. Okay, Mr. Smith, Brian Smith. Mr. Smith has been with us for 8 years. For the first 4, he was part-time, and for the last 4, he was full-time as a technology teacher at the middle and high school. Mr. Smith, or Smitty, as we refer to him, has been a great addition to our technology department through all of his time at Eden. His loyalty to Eden has finally paid off as we sit here tonight to celebrate his tenure. During his time at Eden, Brian Smith has immersed himself both in and out of the classroom. Brian has taught most of our class offerings in our technology program. When we created the middle school, Brian became primarily a middle school tech teacher. Brian and his department helped create the 6th grade 10-week Intro to Technology course, where students in 6th grade are introduced to the various tools and machines in our tech department. The middle schoolers love Mr. Smith, so he does a great job with that. 3 years ago, Brian created a robotics team of middle and high school students where they designed and constructed a robot that they entered to compete against other schools in the area. He is a contributing advisor to our FFA, our Future Farmers of America, and Chopper clubs. Brian has coached varsity track and field for his 8 years with us and has coached our modified football team at some point in his career. I think he did it for a year when he started. Brian is here with his wife, Kelly, and his 2 sons, Jackson and Ryan. Welcome, family. Again, congratulations to both Brian and Katie. Got it here. All right, Sven.
Good evening. Mrs. Dibble's a little nervous. I told her not to be. First of all, I wanted to express how much I appreciated Mrs. Dibble. When I first came along, she had just come along a little bit before me, and she really made me feel welcome when I came on board. She really addresses students' emotional needs. They've been increasing over the past year and a half, and her ability to keep students calm while guiding them to make good decisions has been extremely valuable. Her professionalism, often in difficult situations, have positively impacted our students' successes. Her relationships with students and parents have been incredibly important as we went over these past 2 years. Areas that Mrs. Dibble, I cannot say how much she does, includes the AP exam coordination and master scheduling, key role in our student support team in finding solutions for students, assisting in organizing and presenting the senior scholarship breakfast, assisting students in enrolling into our New Step and Hilbert programs for college credit, and she coordinates a visit from the New Step rep to all New Step courses. She is the SAT testing advisor or administrator, and she organizes our National College Fair. And I just can't express how much professionalism she shows in some of the most difficult situations that change minute to minute, second to second. And I have all the confidence in the world in Mrs. Dibble that she'll continue to be an asset to our school and our community. So.
Congratulations to all those honored this evening. I do want to remind you to please join us in the elementary cafeteria for a celebratory reception at the conclusion of this meeting, which is going to happen pretty quick. So I hope you're hungry.
So student report.
All right, so to start off this month, we had a teacher and staff appreciation week, which went well. The student council had a cart that went around to all the teachers and gave out snacks and goodies, which they've based on the survey that they filled out prior. During that same week, the APs started, so students enrolled in AP classes took their AP tests, and hopefully they went well. The student council had a trip to Sky High Aerial Park for the student council. Yes, and then there was the junior prom the next day, which was fun. And then just yesterday, there was the Powder Puff game, which was so much fun. Everyone had a great time. Finals are coming up, so students are starting to begin to study. I know the first test is the 1st of May. And the student council is planning a movie night at the beginning of June, so that's coming up. The Eden High School Student Council elections are coming up as well. I know we're having a meeting this tomorrow about that, and the band is having a trip to Darien Lake on the June 3rd, so hopefully that will be fun. And next month, the seniors shall have their prom. So, yeah.
And board report roundtable.
Just to reiterate Mr. Sorticio's comments, I just want to thank everybody coming out to vote. I mean, to have the turnout that we had was pretty impressive. I think we had more people turn out than Frontier did last night. So, just I appreciate everybody coming out and voting. And it's about all I have in regards to that. All right.
Okay. So the next regular Board of Education meeting is Wednesday, June 15th, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the Eden Elementary School Auditorium. The reorganization and regular Board of Education meeting is Wednesday, July 6th, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the Eden Elementary School Auditorium. And now that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education meeting be adjourned at 7:40 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.